Your daily headlines powered by AI and reviewed by people you can trust. This is Neural Newscast.
Broadcasting from the Neural Newscast newsroom, I'm Andrew Lindbeck. It's October 2nd, 2025. Here's what's making headlines right now. A deadly car and knife attack struck a Manchester synagogue during Yom Kippur, leaving multiple people dead and injured. Sarah Wheaton is here with more details.
3 people are dead, including the suspect, after a car and knife attack at a Manchester synagogue. The assault unfolds on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, drawing a large police response. Authorities secure the synagogue and surrounding streets and say there is no ongoing threat. Investigators treat the scene as a major incident and review security footage and witness accounts. Paramedics transport several injured people to local hospitals. Community leaders urge calm and vigilance. Police pledge visible patrols and promise updates as they identify victims and determine motive.
British police say they believe they know the attacker's identity and are conducting urgent forensic checks and interviews. Here's Cassandra Joyce with more.
British police say they believe they know the attacker's identity and are moving to confirm it. Investigators are conducting urgent forensic checks and reviewing security footage to verify the name. Officers search multiple locations and interview witnesses to map the suspect's movements. The government receives regular briefings as counterterrorism units coordinate with regional forces. Officials do not release the name yet, citing operational security. Police urge the public to share any images or tips from the area. Remain vigilant and report anything unusual, police say. Neural Newscast's Cassandra Joyce.
Let's take a look at world news. Israel has ordered all residents of Gaza City to evacuate as the military prepares to expand ground operations. Here's Monica Kellen with more.
Israel orders all residents of Gaza City to evacuate to clear the way for an expanded ground operation. According to the Israeli military, the directive warns that anyone who stays will be treated as a Hamas member or sympathizer. The military frames the move as necessary to target militants embedded in dense urban areas. Military analysts say the order signals a widening campaign beyond current fronts and could mean prolonged ground combat. Aid groups warn of urgent concerns over civilian safety, access to aid, and routes south. Regional leaders watch closely as displacement grows and pressure mounts for humanitarian corridors.
Dozens are feared dead after a school collapse in Indonesia, with many still missing as rescue teams work through the night. Let's dive into the latest in politics. The federal government shutdown is putting nutrition aid for nearly 7 million WIC participants at risk within about 2 weeks. Cassandra Joyce has more on this.
A federal shutdown threatens nutrition aid for nearly 7 million pregnant women, infants, and young children on WIC within about 2 weeks. States could temporarily cover gaps, but budgets vary, creating uneven access. Supporters of WIC call it a proven public health tool that reduces food insecurity. Fiscal conservatives argue short-term extensions mask deeper spending issues and want broader reforms. That is one perspective in ongoing budget talks. The White House and Congress trade blame, while governors press for certainty to plan benefits.
The Energy Department has canceled hundreds of clean energy projects, many located in Democratic-led states, drawing partisan criticism. Daniel Grove joins us with the latest.
The Energy Department cancels hundreds of clean energy projects, many in Democratic-led states, as budget talks intensify. Officials say the move trims costs and redirects funds to higher priority grid reliability and domestic energy production. Democratic governors and mayors argue the cancellations undercut jobs and climate goals, calling the pattern unfair. Republicans counter that subsidies distort markets and burden taxpayers, one perspective in a long-running debate over federal energy policy. The dispute unfolds as Congress negotiates spending to avoid a shutdown, highlighting competing visions for climate action and fiscal restraint under President Donald Trump.
Developments in Washington. The White House is pressing Democrats to end the shutdown as agencies face furloughs and service delays. A look at jobs, markets, and money. A government shutdown could cost roughly $7 billion a week, and dent consumer spending and federal operations. Turning to Ethan Wells for details.
A federal government shutdown could drain $7 billion from the economy each week. The hit grows with every day of closed offices and delayed paychecks. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers face furloughs, while contractors pause projects. Consumer spending softens as families cut back. Small businesses near federal facilities lose foot traffic. Markets may wobble if confidence slips. Taxpayers also pay more later as agencies restart, process backlogs, and cover late fees. The longer it lasts, the larger the bill. This is Ethan Wells for Neural Newscast.
Now, politics. President Donald Trump's administration is asking several colleges to sign a funding compact that would include a tuition freeze and strict gender policy definitions.
You are listening to NNC, Neural Newscast. Online at neuralnewscast.com.
Monica Kellen reports on this story.
President Donald Trump's administration asks 9 top colleges to sign a funding compact that earns preference for federal grants. The draft requires a 5-year tuition freeze and strict, binary definitions of gender in campus policies. Supporters frame it as affordability and clarity, one perspective in a broader debate over costs and culture on campus. Critics at universities and civil rights groups call it federal overreach into academic governance and LGBTQ rights. The proposal sits within ongoing discussions about how Washington should shape higher education.
Science shaping our understanding. Jane Goodall, the pioneering chimpanzee researcher, has died at the age of 91. Leaving a lasting scientific and conservation legacy. Medical research and public health headlines. Wales will let most community pharmacies treat uncomplicated urinary tract infections without a GP visit. Laura Navarro is here with more details.
Relief is coming for many women in Wales. Most community pharmacies can treat uncomplicated urinary tract infections for women under 64 without a GP appointment. That means faster care, shorter waits, and less pain. Pharmacists can assess symptoms, offer tests where available, and supply antibiotics when appropriate. This change helps busy parents, carers, and shift workers who struggle to book slots. It also frees up GPs for more complex needs. Quick treatment matters, health leaders say, especially when discomfort disrupts daily life. This is Laura Navarro for Neural Newscast.
A look at environmental news and issues. An NPR investigation finds neighborhood distribution power lines played a large role in recent Los Angeles wildfires. Samuel Green joins us with the latest.
Faulty neighborhood power lines play a bigger role in recent Los Angeles wildfires than many realize. An investigation finds repeated malfunctions on distribution lines that serve individual homes in one of the hardest-hit communities. Crews log blown fuses and sparking hardware during high winds. Residents report outages and small flare-ups before larger fires take off. Regulators focus more on high-voltage transmission lines, leaving local equipment under-scrutinized. The takeaway: aging poles, loose connectors, and vegetation near low-voltage lines create ignition risks that demand faster inspections and upgrades.
Stay tuned for a developing situation. At least 3 people were killed in an attack outside a Manchester synagogue, prompting national condemnation and calls for vigilance. Now, a look at the political landscape. A draft White House plan would prioritize federal grant preference for colleges that sign a compact, including tuition freezes. For an entertainment update, here's what's new. Fans of Peaky Blinders have reason to celebrate. A 2-season sequel order at Netflix and the BBC has been announced. Lydia Holmes reports on this story.
Peaky Blinders is officially back. Creator Stephen Knight lands a 2-season sequel order at Netflix and the BBC. Cillian Murphy signs on as executive producer, stoking hopes he'll return as Tommy Shelby. Plot details stay under wraps, but production gears up soon. Knight teases a bold new chapter for the Shelby clan, saying it will surprise and thrill fans.
Country star Hardy Y described surviving a terrifying tour bus crash that left him hospitalized and changed his outlook. Lucas Bennett joins us with the latest.
Country star Hardy recounts the tour bus crash that left him hospitalized and shaken. He says he thought he was dead as the bus overturned after a late-night show. The crash injures multiple crew members and sidelines performances while he recovers. Hardy seeks treatment for anxiety and trauma and returns to touring with new safety protocols. He frames the experience as a turning point, prioritizing health and rest. This is Lucas Bennett for Neural Newscast.
International developments you should know. The Philippine president says tents are urgently needed as earthquake survivors seek shelter and services. Laura Navarro has more on this.
Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. says tents are urgently needed to shelter earthquake survivors. Officials express optimism that most missing people are now accounted for, but widespread damage leaves many families without homes, clean water, and electricity. Emergency teams rush supplies and set up temporary clinics in hard-hit towns. Local authorities warn aftershocks could complicate repairs and aid deliveries. Marcos urges swift coordination with provincial leaders, saying the priority is safe shelter and basic services for displaced residents in the coming days.
Environmental challenges and solutions ahead. An NPR probe finds distribution lines rather than major transmission lines played a key role in recent Los Angeles wildfires. That concludes today's headlines. For more, visit neuralnewscast.com and subscribe for updates.
You've been listening to Neural Newscast. Visit us online for past stories, share today's episode, or subscribe for daily updates at neuralnewscast.com. Neural Newscast integrates real and AI-generated voices to facilitate efficient, high-quality news production. Developed by human experts, our AI-generated content undergoes rigorous fact-checking and human review before publication. While we strive for accuracy and neutrality, AI-generated content may occasionally contain errors. We encourage listeners to verify crucial details from reliable sources. For more on our AI transparency practices, visit newscast.com.